I wasn't gonna wear this. It's fine, I'm wearing it. Hi guys, and welcome to the Healeyverse, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm Katie, and if you have been here before, you know I'm here because I made a thing, and it's pretty heckin' cool if I do say so myself. Real quick, before I get too far into it, just to preface, the reason I made this thing is because when we went to our second LARP event that we have mentioned a couple of times, at the very end of it, we joined a group. Now we were, and still are, considering doing a video on this event, but it was a very kid-focused event, so there's not a whole lot that Matt and myself did that wasn't centered around the children. If you do want that video, please let us know in the comments, because the first video didn't do incredibly well, and we can just leave it. I do want to do a quick shout out to everyone we met at the second event and everyone we met at the first event that we saw again at the second event. Thanks for making our events so memorable. But as I said, at the end of this event, we joined a group within our faction. That group is called the Blackthorns. Now the Blackthorns have a logo, and we were shared this logo so that we can make things for the LARP event in our group colors and with the logo, so that we match our fellow Blackthorns. This decision was made together as a family. The children absolutely 100% wanted to join. In fact, when we were asked if we wanted to join, their first question was, "Us too?" Of course we told them no. They're not allowed to know. Kidding. We all joined the group together as a family and decided we needed to make some things. So we got some Kelly green material because that's the color, and then, you know, we had some black. All this is to say, I made this pouch, this really cool velvet lined, crushed velvet lined pouch. So this isn't mine, this is Matt's. He asked me if I would make him a pouch that could go on his belt, that he could put things in, that was fabric instead of leather, because we all know he is the leather pouch master here. I am just a humble person who is going to delve more into leathercraft soon, so stay tuned for that. But he's the one with all the experience, all the leather crafty skills. So he asked me to make him a fabric pouch. Now we had the materials. I got him to make the paper template, so check that out. Hello, it's me, I'm back. It's been forever, but I am back. And today, I'm sewing something with this guy. So today, I am making a pouch. Not at all like Matt's pouches. He does those with leather. I'm doing this with fabric. So, you know, it's gonna be different. So, initial thoughts. I was just gonna do the most basic, simple pouch possible, and then I was like, why not line it? Because challenging myself. But at the same time, it feels like lining it might actually be easier. Specifically because of how I'm intending to do it, and the seams, and having there not be any stitching visible. So, fingers crossed it goes right. I've got my trusty sewing machine. I've got my fabric. Insert fabric here. And I'm trying to do a pouch that's specifically got a logo. This logo, actually. In fact, right here. It's focusing on me. But this one, right here, this tree, because it's Blackthorn, and we're Blackthorns. Spoiler. Anyway, my lovely husband has done me a little template, even with like what and where he wants the belt loops, and this is all I need. And fabric, and scissors, and a sewing machine, and thread. You know, this is all I need, it's fine. He made it really simple so that the back and the flap are all one piece, and then you just fold it at the point that you want, and then there's the template for the front piece. Super simple. Making a pouch template is really simple, guys. I don't know if you know this, but I learned it. So initially I was gonna do a really simple 1-layer pouch. And then I thought, you know what? We have this black crushed velvet that we'd gotten mainly to line things like sword frogs, so our LARP weapons weren't going to get damaged by metal or leather, but we got a decent amount of crushed black velvet. So why not make a velvet lined pouch? Because I'm not challenging myself. What am I even doing? Right, so in my fabric I have this, which is the same fabric I used for the gambeson fold here, and I will be using for another project. There is enough, I'm not worried. This is my liner. No, I lied. This is my back, the outside. This is my liner. It's like a crushed velvet, fancy. And this is my front because it fits the logo better. Now, real quick, wanted to show you our initial design. There it is, doodled on a napkin. At a break between sets at one of my husband's dad's gigs. So, obviously, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be perfect. We got the green front, the black back, it's got a liner, and I start cutting things out now. So, come on then. So, first step was taking my template and cutting out my pieces. Now, because I'm doing a lining and an outside, I have to cut a piece of the lining for the front, a piece of the outside for the front, a piece of the lining for the back, and a piece of the outside for the back. What I did is I just added my own seam allowance to try and make the pouch roughly the same size as the template that he made, because I just said, make it the size you want, I'll add seam allowance on my own. I can do that. I am capable. You believe me, right? So once I had the pieces cut out, my initial thought was just sew them together, right? Sew the lining to the outside, and then sew the front to the back, and then bam, pouch, right? Absolutely not. So first off, I wanted these straps on the back, I don't know, I'm holding it upside down, to not be sewn all the way through. So first step was sewing these straps onto the back panel, and that was done by hand. Okay, so I cut them and then I pinned them, and then I had to unpin the back flap because I remembered that I wanted to put straps on it, and this is a bit scrap black that I'm going to use for the straps. So I've unpinned these bits. I'm going to cut the straps, punch them, sew them onto the back, and then pin the liner to the back so that when I sew it and flip it, you won't see any seams. That's the plan. I hope you're following. It's going okay so far, and I'm confident. I'm feeling strong. The energy is not plummeted yet, so. Matt sorted cutting out the straps for me. We got them punched. I sewed them on. Bam. First step done. Pouch has loops. It's like I'm cruising here. I then wanted to figure out how I could make it so that the lining was sewed on seamlessly. Now, I could have looked this up. There's plenty of people on the internet who have done this sort of thing. It's also peacock mating season, so I'm going to ignore them. There's plenty of people on the internet who have done this exact thing. I could just do Google. No, I am an inventor. No, it's fine. I figured it out. So what I figured out was if I sew the lining, put the wrong sides together, sew the lining to the outside across the front and across this triangle, and just a scooch down where they meet. I can then put them together inside out, obviously. Okay, I may have messed up, like, a little bit. It's fine. I sewed way more than I needed to because I realized I want all the raw edges together. And because I did the seams on either side of this first, it was gonna mess that up. So I had to take that out. I've still got the one, and so that's my top line. This will be the front, right? That's the liner. Now I need to put, so the other bit, I need to mark where the front starts, and then sew around the top of the other bit, flip that, and then sew them together. I think it's gonna be fine, probably. My brain's still processing the front flap bit, but we'll get there. It'll be fine, probably. So I figured out, put the outer layer and the inner layer together, wrong sides, right sides together, outside together. And so across the straight bit and across the top bit, I can then flip them and sew the rest of it together. So I did go a little bit past where I expected them to join. And then putting my front panel and my back panel that are now double layered together, all I had to do was sew around the edges to join them and make it a pouch. There might be a little bit of winging it going on here. It's fine. I've put them outside facing together and pinned them, and then I'm gonna stitch them and hope that when I flip it, it looks okay. I think we're doing things. I think everything's probably fine. Don't quote me. So that's it inside out. I mean, you'll see it on the video. I don't know why I'm showing you on here. You're gonna see way better detail on the video. Been a while since I've made something, and I made this a little bit ago, honestly. And then tragedy struck, but I'll get to that in a minute. I say that. I'll get to that now. And then tragedy struck and my sewing machine broke. Now real quick, before I get to the final bit of this pouch, which was probably the most annoying bit, I need to try and fix my sewing machine. And I've had a couple of recommendations that I just need to dig it out and troubleshoot. I'm tempted to do that on a live stream. We've never done a live stream on the Healeyverse before. Is this something you want? We're probably going to do it anyway, but if you want it, let us know. I really need to fix my sewing machine because I have a lot of things that I need and want to sew. So yeah. I didn't just hit my teeth with the cup, and if you saw me do that, no you didn't. Anyway, once I had my pouch together, I was ridiculously pleased and then so nervous that I was going to mess it up. Because the last step was painting. With fabric paint. Now I'm sure you're thinking, well Katie, you could have cut the pieces out, painted first, and then put it all together if you were happy with the painting. Sure, I could have done that. I did not do that. I didn't even think about doing that. But it's fine. It's fine, because it turned out great. So what I did is I printed off the logo and cut out the different layers to stencil it. So I had the black layer, I had the white layer, I had the then white layer over the black layer, and I painted, and I painted, and I painted, and I kept going back over it to fix places where the green was coming through on the white, and where the black had then gone over the white, because I may be a painter, but I don't have the steadiest hands. It's fine. Paint is generally forgiving. As was this, and it ended up coming out so much better than I honestly expected it to. I surprised myself. I'm currently waiting for paint to dry. I've done my second layer where I did the white first around the border, and then I've done the black. And then I just need to add the little sword, which is white again, which is going to be a challenge to go over the black, but I believe in myself. And the black has to be dry enough for me to add the, white. So now I'm waiting. I'm gonna make myself put everything away, everything that I don't need away while I'm waiting, because, looking out for future me. So I'm like ridiculously pleased with how well the painting came out. I mean, the pouch as a whole, I'm happy. I was impatient for it to dry. I was ridiculously impatient for it to dry so I could take the stencil off and actually see how it was and do any touch-ups. And the final touch-ups I did without any stencil on. And yeah, I'm so pleased with it. And it's like, it's the logo. I did the Blackthorn logo on a pouch for Matt. And I'm like, I should probably make more of these. Maybe one for myself, maybe something for the kids. I could even put straps on it and make it like a crossbody bag. But before I do any of that, I need to fix my sewing machine. I'm doing really well, guys. It's fine. But yeah, that's it. That's all it took. I made this in one evening. I pulled out my sewing machine, I started cutting, started pinning, started sewing, and finished it off by painting. I might have done touch-ups the next day to ensure it was like properly dry, but even then I feel like I just waited a couple hours. I don't know, I'll probably. Either way, this did not take long at all to make, and it came out quite nice. I'm very proud of it. On the video, I might have a little clip of the initial design that I sketched out. We were at my father-in-law's gig, and just on a piece of tissue or like napkin, I'd sketched out an idea for this pouch and showed it to Matt, and I was like, I could make this. So, what do you think? Do you want one? You can't have one unless you're a Blackthorn. That's sorry. So them's the rules. But what should I have done better? How could I have done better? Tips, tricks, leave them for me in the comments. And if you have any thoughts on fixing a sewing machine that's just like skipping stitches, it's just not grabbing. I think it's something to do with the bobbin. Hence, I need to pull my sewing machine back out and just dig into it. But we've had a lot going on. If you've seen our recent short, we have a lot of leather. You can't see it. It's off camera right now. But we have a lot of leather. So I will be doing some leather projects coming up, and I'm really excited about them. So stay tuned for that. If you did like this video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Turn on notifications. And if you do want to support us, we do have a Patreon, and I wanted to give a massive shout out and thank you to our first artisan, Nick Naga. Thank you so much for being our first artisan level patron. We appreciate your support more than you could even know. And if you do want to support us through Patreon, we have a link down in the description. We also have a couple of other links of other ways you can support us. Alternatively, fun fact, did you know we have 4 channels in total? There's this one. There's one where we talk about lore called the Lore Dimension. Again, linked below. We also have one called Training Dummies, where Matt, his cousin John, and now me as well, are training on various weapons and combat styles and things like that. It's really fun. We all do short form content over there. We'll have some long form and more coming, so stay tuned for that. And then we have another one where we do fun skits and often wear a lot of the things we have made. That's called the NPCs. They're all linked below. Feel free to check us out on any of those channels, support where you can, and at the very least, I hope you've liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, you deserve nice things. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you on the next video. Whatever that could be. Might be Matt. So I might not see you. He might see you. Or it might be me. I don't know. I really want to get on with that leather stuff, so it's like staring at me. I've got 2 projects in mind already. 3 I have a lot. I want to make more stuff with leather, okay? Anyway, you should probably go now because I'm just on one now. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.